So today we're going to talk about lighting a fire in a wood stove. I think if it's your first experience with a wood stove, you know that these things are kind of a pain to get going. So I'm going to kind of show you the easy, straightforward way to do it. As far as paper, I'm just using a brown paper bag here. Newspaper by far is best. Just nothing with a glossy or waxy coating on it. Obviously it's bad for the environment, but it never does burn very well. So we're going to start with our brown paper bag. As far as kindling, we'll have some dry stuff here that we chopped up kind of small. So I like to start with some smaller pieces like this and just kind of stack them in here. You know, I think probably most people are kind of familiar with the old Boy Scout teepee type method, but the trick is to just make sure this is really dry and stay with some just softer, lighter wood, nothing too heavy. You know, wood stoves are kind of all about heat and airflow. So if you throw some wood in there that's too big, it cuts down the airflow. It doesn't generate enough heat. So we're just going to give this a light, kind of sit back. So while this is getting rolling, a couple things to keep in mind. Your dampener, you want to make sure your dampener is open. And then some good things to have for your wood stove. This is probably one of the most important things. Just go get yourself a set of welding gloves, because you're gonna end up burning yourself badly as it gets hot. The other thing, an ash can that is metal, and a set of bellows for those times you got to blow. You shouldn't have to blow too much to get a fire going. It should kind of want to go on itself. But so if you look at this, we got this cooking now. You can see these smaller pieces are already pretty freely burning of their own, and we're just going to let this get a little bit of heat cooked up in there. And you notice we're leaving the door open until we're sure the wood is nice and going, which, I mean, at this point it is. So we're going to close the door for just a minute here, and we're going to let some heat start to build up in there. And once we have some good heat built up in there, we're going to add a little bit more wood and try to get a good bed of coals going. But if you've kind of gotten this far, and we're actually probably at the point where we can add a little bit more wood, make sure that this keeps cooking up. And normally you don't need to use this much small wood. I'm just kind of doing this for demonstration purposes. But we're going to close the door again, you know, so we have the wood going real well. And then just keep the door closed and then let it build up some heat in there before you start adding bigger chunks of wood. Just don't add too big too fast. And we're going to go ahead and pause this video now, and